I decided to go to the spring of the Thames.
Finally, it's the second series of Thames Path.
We're going to do it with wall camping. We're going to walk all 200 miles, hopefully.
So if you want to follow me up the river, please hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, or share with your friends because it helps the channel. Yeah, that's a great wood. I don't think I'm that hidden. I'll check that out in a second. But it's just any port in a storm, really. Or any port at nearly midnight. That was a nightmare. I hope people go through, but generally if you don't look up. And yeah, there was a house party going on somewhere over there until late last night. They got shut down about midnight, 12:30. We've had worse camps, but yeah, it was on a slant, which is not helpful. But the more important thing was, there was no cows. But, a deer. Oh yes, there's deer around here. I've only heard one bunch of walkers go past just now. Otherwise it's been very quiet. Big test for the thermarest is on this sort of spiky ground. I cleared it as much as possible. There's still spiky stuff there. If you see those pieces of plastic which hasn't wrapped the trees in to protect them from the deer. Got here about 11:30 or 11:45. We're maybe a mile or so from Inglesham. See how visible we are. Not massively. On the path there. It's going to get hot today. I could have camped down here. Yeah, when I found this place, I was, just glad it wasn't a cow field. Tent is down. Hardly, you wouldn't know I've been here. You can see how that was not level. That was not fun. But yeah, I lost my little poop trowel somehow. I had it yesterday. Practical problems, obviously. There's not much you can do with a stick. Yeah, I'm annoyed about losing that. I mean, it's only a £5 trowel, but still. It's more the fact that I was getting more and more into the wilds. Probably will have to. This isn't the Thames, but I get confused. It's definitely not a Thames. Good. It ends. Maybe it's a little tributary. Oh yes. This is an active airfield. There's a private airfield at Inglesham. And we're going past it. I could have camped on an airfield. That would have gone down well. It's really the Thames. That's the Thames. Look how small it's become. Wow. Even the last day or so. I keep saying look how small it's become. But it really has. I think that might be a good place to go filter some more, actually. But yeah, look how small it's become. Sorry? That's more like it. Nice and water. Still is good. I don't mind filtering water like this. Further down the river, it was so horrible. And cloudy and sort of green coloured brown bits down by the water's edge. Got to a point where it's possibly wadeable, definitely swimmable. I mean, you could swim further down the river, take your life in your hands, and it's probably been swimmable for a while, but it's getting to a point where it's actually wadeable, possibly. It's narrowed down so much since Lechlade. I mean, even those higher canoes, I think from Lechlade, are kind of going through gingerly. Yeah, that must be the airfield, oh. Just like a big field. But I think we head off from here for a while. We head off from the river for a bit, across the fields, and far away annoyingly. Oh, cornfields. We shouldn't have. One of the cases of where a diversion is seemingly for the better. Oh, that's the bit I just did. So, it used to go through the road. So yeah, we've gone. There's Inglesham, airstrip is here. I think I camped somewhere around there. And so I just keep going. But yeah, initially it used to go up at Inglesham. So all that stuff I've done is new. Well, as of 2017. There was a diversion I didn't know about, but I just followed the signs and we went down the river. It was very nice. Oh, cool. So I don't have to worry about that. You see, when they show you these things, you think, oh no, don't have to worry about that. No. It's very telling that they didn't have that sign, or maybe I missed it, in Lechlade, which is probably where it should be. But luckily, things like Osman, which I'm using to navigate with, is very good about, seems to have most of the diversions in place, if not all of them, but a lot of them. We're going to go Children of the Corn, are we? Yes, Field of Dreams time. Okay. Where ghosts of baseball stars appearing, and or scary children with folk horror pagan beliefs. I prefer the vegetarian version, Children of the Corn. Anyway, laugh. And no one seemed to get my puns. Great view of the Thames, as we've said many times before. Although I'd be thankful that we actually weren't walking down a busy B road. I've never been a massive fan of going across fields with unmarked paths. Big field, and it's like you can't see where the path is, and you've just got a rough idea that it's somewhere on the other side. Where is the path? I've done that at night with GPS, and that was incredibly stressful. St Mary's Church, you know, and I've done that a few times. Like last night, I was navigating fine, though partly because I could see the track. If I'd gone through that section where the guys mowed the track out of existence, I would have struggled. But here you can kind of see where the path is. Although, seriously, if you were a few metres away, you wouldn't. I was proud of myself, managing to get across all those fields in the dark. It's because I got experience doing it, but it's not something I enjoy doing. I do it if I have to. Usually I go for roads. If I wasn't following Thames Path, I would have just gone down the main road. I just checked the map, and it's 13 miles away as a crow flies to Shrewsbury Mead. The river is windy, so it's not 13 miles for me along the Thames Path, but it means that it's doable in the next day or so. You know, and I was thinking it was going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and actually I might get there possibly today, definitely tomorrow, on Monday, which is crazy, unless something goes wrong, which it might do. Don't jinx it, Tim, don't jinx it. Barren field. Good thing I got that water, because there are no water sources around here. The end is in sight. And I, for one, am very, very, very relieved. After last night's late night death ramble, I don't really want to do 15-20 miles today, but it's certainly doable for tomorrow. But the thing is, as soon as I get there, I'm going to try and get home. And that is a saga in itself. The cheapest way is to take a whole bunch of buses and then get a coach from Bristol. Part of me thinks just get on the train for the amount of money it is, but you know, I've spent a lot on this trip than I should have. I'm 50-50 on it, really. After that triumphant news, road closed, hopefully not the Thames Path. Of course, my kingdom for a bench or a log or anything. Got balloons though. You never know when you need a party field, obviously. Maybe that's where they were having the noisy party, I don't know. We have a flower canoe. So yeah, flowers and boats, but that's a canoe version. Yeah, it should really be sponsored by these people. Jack's, which is I think Tesco's cheap version. But Jack's fizzy colour balls are lovely. Nice to have the warning, but actually those are very funny sheep. They go moo. Lost the Thames. Last seen about an hour and a half ago. Rather wet, sort of greenish, bluish colour. Have you seen this Thames? Yeah, we've just had one of those magical mystery detours where you're kind of like, Thames is that way. Maybe, I don't know, 200 metres, 300 metres. What a... No. Brambles and barbed wire, great combination, thanks. And nettles as well. Right. Yeah, the Thames isn't there, it's sort of over there somewhere. I don't know why we've just been away from it for so long. I've not been able to stop. Wherever it is, I really want shade. This is where not having my sit mat is really annoying. I'm supposed to in mid-20s. It's just boiling. That's the only place to sit down. For miles, probably. Yes, it's midday and it's boiling. So I thought Cricklade and you go to the Cricklade and then you're getting close. The long section actually was the one I've just done. The biggest drag was between, and it was a drag, Abingdon, Newbridge, and then Lechlade. Oxford to Lechlade section was quite a long one. It's literally someone's garden. The Thames Path goes this way. Okay. Oh, I really don't like paths like this. You're not sure which way you're supposed to go. He's pointed into this field and like, okay, you're supposed to just guess. Are you supposed to go down that way or down that way? Because actually it's pointing. Because I assumed I saw the person's garden. I was like, surely the Thames Path is not going through someone's garden. Apparently, yes. It's going down the side of their house. Right, okay. As well as having a bonus hat, Cricklade is 5.25 miles and St John's Lock, where we came from, is 6 miles. So yeah, 5.5 miles to Cricklade. Then from Cricklade, I'll say maybe 10 miles to Source. I'm impressed that actually the Thames Path does exist. I think there is some bits where you get a little bit closer to Source and it's just kind of following roads rather than actual. I think there's a bit after Cricklade where it's just, I remember from my research, which might have changed. I think Cricklade is the one that has all the millions of different streams and rivers going through it, and also waterworks. So I might get a bit lost there. Yeah, it's very phallic, but it's always a ancient border stone. Well, not always, but quite often. Unless that's someone's memorial, but likely it was a stone at Crossroads nearby. And this is St Mary's Church in Castle Eaton. Not the one I saw in the distance. Wow, I like the little spire. That's very aspiring. I'm not going to go in, and I don't really can go in. 12th century apparently. Cool. So much clearer and cleaner here. That is definitely Sweet Thames, fly softly. Though again, there's always someone having a chainsaw. I was looking at the map and I could do it today. The source is only about 10 miles away. Google says I could walk it in about 4 or 5 hours. I totally could do it today. The only problem is getting back if I want to take the train. Once the buses have all, would all be gone off by then. Slightly complicated by, after Cricklade, there's all these really strange, what seems to be gravel pits and reservoirs. Or on the map, initially I thought it was a waterworks. Actually, it looks like it's filled gravel pits, but they're all nature that reserves. So we might actually be able to camp near one of those, do like a reservoir type camp. Basically, get past Cricklade, and I don't want to have too much of a walk tomorrow, not push it, because that's what I felt like I did on the Winchester one. I pushed it and then walked in the evening, just I wanted to get it done. I felt bad wandering around Winchester in the dark trying to find the start of the South Downs Way. It just seemed to be a bit of an anticlimax. It's amazing to me that I could have done this in 6 days. I wasn't sure if I could. Some people suggested maybe 3 or 4, but I think you'd have to not have a pack to do that. 5 was like, well, that's going to be 15-mile days. 6 sounds about right. So that's what I'd estimated for with the fuel and stuff, and actually it turns out to be bang on. It's like 6 to 7 days. But then I'd have to go and camp somewhere around the head anyway. I might end up doing that, especially on such a hot day. And this is the reason why I'm hiding in the churchyard in there. I can't remember what they call these. We've got to go meander in and out, so when I say 10 miles, I mean as the crow flies. Crows don't fly along the Thames. If I realised it was going to be in the next day or so, I would have bought a bit less food. It's a big bad bag of cheese and chicken and ham, which, you know, I would have bought a bit less.
Daisy Path. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not brushing today. This would kill me if I was trying to rush through this heat.
Oh, barbed wire. I suppose that's to stop the cows jumping into the Thames. It's amazing how small the Thames is now. I keep saying this, but yeah, it's amazing. I'm just going to find a nice campsite and then finish it tomorrow, I think.
It's a beautiful scene. It's also swelteringly hot. Ooh. And I'm near water. I mean, how do you think how people are getting on in the cities? It's sweltering down here. And again, me sitting on the steps of a bridge. It's the only vaguely bench-like object on the Thames Path at this point. We've walked 1.5 miles from Castle Eaton in one hell of a heat, and we've got 2.5 miles to Cricklade. Even though it's 3 o'clock, it is absolutely roasting. Yeah, it's 25 degrees. It was 26 degrees the highest today, according to the Met. Tomorrow it's 28, and then the day after it's 30. So yeah, it's a very good idea to not stick around and get into this heat wave.
It says it all, really. It's all my sweat, the sort of darker band.
Looks like I might have lost my thermometer unless it's wrapped up in the tent. That would be annoying. Sickness. Hello. And these bridges are all working. Although, I suppose they are part concrete bases. But yeah, they haven't wrecked these. Given time, I haven't got some yet. It's just a small river it is now. It's almost a stream. The Thames is but a puddle, and also it's kind of weird. This is like the cricket ground. Oh, it's just stopping down here. I thought we could get through. That's the River Key. I was going the wrong way. I was like, where are the signs up there? I saw a bridge over and I didn't see a sign on it, and I think I'm supposed to have gone over that bridge. And I really want to try and find a cold drink, but there's no shops in this area, of course, because why would you have shops in Cricklade near the Thames Path? That's crazy talk, isn't it? Nope, no sign. No sign telling you to turn here. This sea commemorates a very special milkman, Gordon Bridges. But was he the fastest milkman in the West? That's what we want to know. Nice old bridge. Ordinarily, if I wasn't hot, stressed and tired, I'd go and visit some Samsons, because that's what I saw in the distance. But it's not happening. I just want to get a camp somewhere. It's a lot cooler, and I've had a cold drink, and I've had a Calippo. Yeah, Calippo! I'm feeling a lot better. Feeling a lot less heat exhaustion, a lot less stressed. And so if I can sort of reduce that for tomorrow, that'd be better, because tomorrow's going to be even hotter. And so I'm aware that if I go to try and do a 10-mile walk with this incredibly heavy pack, the later half is going to be a push to get there in time, even if I start early. But I don't want to go and be walking at nearly midnight like yesterday. There's a sign saying source 12 miles and the Thames barrier 172 miles. Still very odd, I think. A bit growly in the shop. I just want to get a drink, and then the machine wasn't working, and the little scan code thing wasn't working, and then I'm hot, I'm bothered, I'm stressed out because I don't want to be in that town or village or whatever. And then all these things, like the toilets are 500 miles away, the shop is 500 miles away, the garage that's got the shop is 3,000 miles away. It's all spread out. Can you just put it on one place and signpost it as you come in on a town to say, water here, toilets here. But no, they never do that. There are these silly maps that show you someone farted in 1562, and some of that's useful, but a lot of it's like, where is shop? Want shop. Shop. Where's shop? Shop now. Shop. Okay. Water. Where water? Want water. Remember Maidstone? I spent hours there. The actual main town was a good half an hour from the thing, and then I spent hours going around different places. This idea of the 15-minute city is ridiculous. Most towns can't even do that, let alone cities. Yeah, animal fields. I just don't know where I'm going to end up tonight. I know that somewhere like Cricklade I couldn't go anywhere. There were a few little fishing spots kind of coming in. I don't really want to dump on tomorrow, Tim. Sort of 12-mile walk. That's going to confuse you. You've got a gate going over there. You go that way. Out of this gate. I know I keep saying this, but that's the Thames. So tiny. I keep thinking, I keep confusing other ditches for it, but that is actually the Thames, I think. Alright, that's a bit bigger. I'll give it that. These fields don't seem to have animals in. Oh, hello. It looks like they sometimes must do. Unless it's some very militant swans. I don't know. Why, just Google say 10 miles and the sign says 12. Well, you're looking at it, I think. It's this magical mystery tour because some landowner doesn't want anyone walking down the banks of their land. Yes, we're having to go a long way round. And I got to see the old railway line. I got to chat to a guy who was thinking of kayaking the whole of the Thames. So that's good. At the Clevelands, which I assume seriously they are. Though they're used as a water sports park, they're just a large breeding ground for mosquitoes and midges. I assume it's quarries. Like Cleveland, looks like they filled a quarry in, or a bunch of quarries. Or gravel extraction or something like that. Could find camping here. Could do. And it's not really where I want to be. I'm going to try and walk past it and see. We're going to rejoin the river after a while. That's a possible. It's still quite boggy. Don't really want to be for my last night. I want to be somewhere nice. Some particularly pretty cows. Yes, I'm still looking. It's 7:30ish or a bit after. I'm going to walk. There's a pub at Ashton Keynes, so I can go back there for water if I can't get access to the River Thames. The path really goes on a random thing through this water park, and then it rejoins after Ashton Keynes. So I'm hoping there might be a spot there, but it's not for very long before it then wanders off to Somerton Keynes. Show us all your water parks, basically. This place looks very familiar. This has been in someone's video. This is Ashton Keynes. But maybe just recreation grounds just all look alike. I don't know. You'd never believe this was the Thames Path. Yeah. Just going up some random drive and then onto this. It is. Yeah, I'm going to check on the other side. Maybe rejoin Thames for a while. If it's then we go back to the wood at the Millennium Green. And it's past 8 o'clock. Ah, mud! I knew there'd be some mud. Missed you, mud. No, I haven't. Somewhere not great, because it's rather public. It was the Millennium Green. And there's paths running through it, so it's a bit too public for my liking. But we'll see on the other side. Hope there's some fishing spots or something. That would be lovely. If not, we're walking back. Yeah, this is very, very Cotswolds. Although Cotswolds new money.
I'm having to be quite stealthy because I'm in a really sketchy place. A place called Millennium Green in Ashton Keynes. And Ashton Keynes is like a super Amberley. At least in Amberley they actually talk to you. Here they won't even say hello. It's that rude. Very, very sort of Cotswold, nouveau riche. Had to wait till it went dark before I did my food, and I had to do everything. Pretty much the tent I put up some of the light, but then people started wandering by when it's going dark with their mobile phone. And you can probably hear the deer. There's lots of deer around. They don't seem to be bothered by me, but I had to close the front because they seem to be very curious about the tent. There's lots of big brambles and hawthorn and scratchy things around. I'll have to get out of here fairly early on, which suits me actually, because if it's going to be 28 degrees, I really want to get walking early and get most of that walking done. I think it may be 8 miles to go. I don't know.
That was the end of day 6 of Thames Path Series 2. We travelled 13.1 miles and a total of 76.5 miles. We travelled from near Inglesham to Millennium Wood just before Ashton Keynes. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please click the like button and press that subscribe button. If you do, it helps the channel, helps produce more videos like this one. On screen now, it will be the next series when it's available, otherwise it will be the previous day. I hope you're well, and I'll speak to you soon.